All right, I'm not a professional videographer or photographer, but I'll do my best attempt here. I had posted some pictures on Facebook of our recent catch that we got when we were fishing yesterday, and we had some walleye and white bass and got some catfish. And one of my friends supposed to do, you actually eat those, or because you like them, or but you know, she said sometimes catfish taste yucky. Well, this is for you, Jenny. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you, this is just one of the catfish fillets, and this one's really not too bad, but I want to show you what you're looking for. Some people will just eat it and it doesn't bother them. And some people it's a little too fishy, so there are certain parts of the meat that do give it that taste. And I'll just show you. There's a little bit of more or less reddish meat there, or fat on the catfish. So we're gonna go ahead and skin that off first. And in this case, it's such a small piece, I can just put it put that to the top side. Slice that off. There's that little strip, and then so there's that chunk of meat where that is no longer on there, but right here is another chunk of reddish fatty junk. So just slice that off. I'm left with all really nice, delicious, flaky catfish there, white meat that won't have that taste you're talking about. Now, you can see on the edge here, the guy I was fishing with hadn't really cleaned catfish before, so, and it happens even when I clean them, but there's some more fat. This would be right under the spine where the fins were, so that strip of little white stuff that's attached right there, and that little bit of yellow, I trim it off a lot of times. They say that really, it's just a different density. It doesn't really affect the taste of it, but I just go along and trim that off, throw it aside. And like I said, sometimes I don't trim the yellow off because we like our fish fishy, but I don't think you'll taste it. Now this is the major part right here, down the middle. It's hard to see on this one. Sometimes they're more pronounced, but there's like a vein type thing going down through there. Got a lot of red in it. So you can, the smaller fish, it doesn't go as deep. You can see it. I don't know how well you can see it from the end there. You can see it right there. And it runs like that the full length of the fillet. And so I'll show you one way that I can do it. Is I will just cut and notch it like a V on each side of that little strip, all the way down from both sides, like so. And this one was kind of shaved thin, so it's probably going to separate. But then once I have that notched out, it's kind of like a zipper, and you just pull it right out. And that last little piece of red there, and a bone that was left over. That's why I like to do this too. I find all the bones. And what you're left with is pretty much an all white chunk of fillet. There is some yellow along here that you see, but I'm not going to take it off because it will not affect the taste of that one bit. But you get all that red out, and now you have nothing but really delicious white flaky fish meat. Here's the other half of that fillet. All the bloodline is gone. I can feed that to you, and I promise. Now I found right there where some fins were, so I got to trim that off. Just trim right along the side of it. There. That's all done. I've converted a lot of people to catfish that swore they hated it. It tasted muddy, yucky, whatever. I learned to do this from a guy named Kip Ely. Grew up on Harlan County. He was a janitor at my first teaching job. Showed me how to clean these the right way, and I have fed more catfish to people, and I've told them it's walleye or crappie, and they eat it and come back for seconds, not knowing. So here's you can really see it on this one. So we got a couple things we got to do here. We got to take the zipper out, but this is a little bigger fish, and so if you look at the end of it there, the red goes all the way through. So cutting a V really isn't going to eliminate all of it. You can see it kind of on that side. So what I do is I just go on this side, I cut all the way through. And yep, you're going to lose a little bit of meat, but it also has that, you can see that layer now when I slice that out. So, you know, you're losing a quarter by a quarter chunk of meat right there. If I was starving, I would worry about it. But so now I've got it mostly cleaned up, but now it's on the surface. So I got to skim that off. We'll just get that fillet knife right under there. Like so. Square that end off. And there you go. Oh, there's a little bit of that stuff on the edge there, that kind of where the fins were, so we'll trim that off. And look at that. When you cook that up, it's going to be so flaky and delicious, and will not have any of that nasty, bitter taste that people associate with catfish. Like I always tell everybody when they say, oh, catfish, I had a guy at the cleaning station. Oh, you keep those? Well, we threw ours back. And I said, heck yeah, I like them better than walleye. Of course, I always get funny looks, but I really do. We really love catfish. My kids love them. Everybody I cook them for loves them. They can't believe they're eating catfish. So, like I tell everybody, it's really, you just got to know how to clean them correctly. That's the major thing. Otherwise, batter them and fry them like any other fish, and little fin material right there. Batter them and fry them like any other fish, and you will be very, very happy. So that's just kind of how I clean up my catfish fillets after I've cleaned them at the lake and I'm getting ready to fry them. So anybody will eat them. Hopefully that helps you out and you give it a try and are happy with the results. This one's for Kip, my buddy that went fishing. This was the first one he did, I think. Had never done the cat, so kind of had a little issue there. But, and honestly, you know, white bass and even walleye have this same little strip down the middle too. Let me just grab a fillet here. There's a white bass fillet. You know, it's got the same red on it, so I'll take the time on every one of these and skim a lot of that off of there. Just to kind of get that little bit of gaminess out of it. And there you go. Thanks for watching.